Hey VC, this is Luke with Hot Wax and Cool Vinyl. Welcome back. Unless this is the first time you're viewing my channel, then as always, simply welcome. Today is Monday. It is the 27th of September. Another beautiful day here on the eastern part of Long Island. I hope it's equally beautiful where you are as well. So this week I was all set. I had my video that I wanted to do all planned out. I was going to show the some more records from the purchase of 1,200 albums from my friend, and was all set. And I'm going to show one of that purchase anyway. But yesterday I was a crazy weekend. I had my high school reunion this Saturday, and so yesterday I was trying to catch up, and I didn't have time to do the video. That's why I'm doing it today. So yesterday I was running to the storage locker. I had to get some records to post on eBay, and on the way home, just happened to see a yard sale sign, and so popped in, take a look around, and yep, that whole video goes out the window. The one I was planning on doing, and we're going to do a whole other one. But firstly, I do want to give a quick shout out to a member of the vinyl community whose channel I discovered not too long ago. It's called Harry's Music Room. I'm going to leave a link down below. Really knowledgeable record collector. Actually was a record store owner. He's out on the West Coast. I believe he's in Washington. And I just find his channel really fascinating. He's got some really cool records that he shows and some insight and other things too. And hey, he owned a record store, so there's always something to glean from assorted things that he puts out that I wasn't aware of. So if you get a chance, the link is going to be below. Check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay, so anyway, so I pull into this yard sale, and I go down and make small talk with the people who were having this yard sale, and they had some baseball cards, some new stuff, and some other things. Nothing that I was interested in purchasing. So as I'm often tend to do, before I left, I said, "Hey, do you by any chance have records?" And they were like, "Yeah, we do. We didn't actually think anybody wanted to look at them, so they're still in the garage. If you want, I'll open the garage and go take a look at them." So I'm like, that's cool. I mean, it means I'm the first guy to take a peek at this stuff, And so I pull open the garage. They open a garage door, and there's like 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5 crates and a couple of tubs of records. And they're pretty much what you'd expect for records having been kept in a garage. There's a lot of really throwaway stuff there that you just kind of look at and go, ugh. But nonetheless, like everybody else, I go digging in there and I come up with some real gems that I'm about to show everybody. But firstly, let me go back to last week. There was one I did want to show from last week from Mike's, which I thought was pretty cool. It was missing from my collection, and this is Breakout, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. Now, this is not the truly desirable one. This is the mono copy. The stereo copy is much more desirable, but nonetheless, this is really in very strong condition. And as I said, this is on New Voice Records, mono. Would I prefer to have the stereo? I guess only for value. But I'm not, again, this is going in my collection. It's missing from my collection. It's one of those albums you really don't think much about until you actually get a hold of it at a yard sale. You're like, oh yeah, why didn't I have this, So this is going to go in my collection. This was part of that record buy of the 1,200 albums, and I do have others that I want to show, and I'll show them in the next video. Like I said, I fully intended on showing them this week, and then I ran into this yard sale yesterday, and so I wanted to show the stuff I got. So we're going to start with this Blondie debut album. This was from yesterday's yard sale. Now, if you're familiar with the Blondie run, they're mostly on Chrysalis or Chrysalis. I don't, depending on, everyone pronounces it slightly different. I've always pronounced it Chrysalis, so I don't know. I was told it's actually pronounced Chrysalis, so I have no idea. But this is not either of those. This is actually Blondie, and this is on Private Stock Records. And that makes this a very, very desirable press. This is a first press 77 on Private Stock. It's really in excellent shape. Now, like I said, yesterday, this yard sale, I went through a lot of them, and I went through pretty quickly. I've gotten, not great, but I've gotten pretty good at going, rifling through records and deciding whether there's anything there worth selling or worth keeping. In this case, there was stuff worth selling, which I'll show in another video. But the stuff worth keeping is what I'm showing today, because this was really pretty cool stuff. So this was one, and record-wise, it's actually pretty strong in condition. You know, and as I said, this is, it was also missing from my collection. I didn't have the debut album. I thought I did, which is why I actually didn't actively hunt it down. I just took it for granted that I did. Turns out I didn't. I checked my Discogs. I'm like, well, that's odd. It's missing from my Discogs. You know, it's normally when something like that has happened on an album, I'm almost convinced that I have. I just check my shelf and make sure it's not there, but it wasn't even in my shelf. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. But, you know, it is now in my collection, and it is the rarer of the copies. So it makes me very, very, very happy. Next is a couple of really cool pieces also. I don't know if this guy served in the military. I'm guessing he did, because he had a handful of 45s, maybe that many. And I kind of went through them, and they had picture sleeves on them, so I grabbed a couple, but 3 really just jumped right out and caught my eye. One I'm going to sell because I have zero interest in it. It's a copy of Wasp with the Wasp poster from a UK press. I think it's called Animal. I mean, again, really zero interest in that. Don't like Wasp. Not even, you know, just never been a fan. So I have that somewhere. I'm not going to show it. I think I was getting it ready to sell. But the ones that I want to show, which I thought were really cool, are Japanese pressings, Zeppelin 45s. Really cool. This is Black Dog, Japanese press, and little gatefold 45. You know, and those are not real signatures. God wish they weren't, right? That would have made this a holy shit album, not just, hey, that's really cool. But the 45 is right on point as well. And it was really interesting because it's also not listed on Discogs, which is weird. But it's about, I think, resale on, I found a couple of them on eBay in the $30 range. So I was like, certainly don't have this in my collection. Very, very psyched to get my hands on it. You know, and the weird part was, like, this was in one section, this was in another section of the box. So it was kind of like there was 3 Zeppelin 45s. So I'm putting this stuff together. I'm going, all right, that's pretty legit, pretty cool. So I had that one. And then a second Zepp Japanese press 45. And this was trampled underfoot. Again, you know, just really You know, and then you got, there you go. Show you what we got. And this is not on Atlantic, this is on actual Swan. And yeah, you see that? Did I leave a lot of glare? No. Oh, yeah, you go. This one could probably, it's a little dusty. I haven't gotten a chance to clean it yet. I was really so excited to get my hands on these things and bring them home. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, I got to check this out and I got to clean it and listen to it. And so I was like all over the place. Again, I really do sometimes have the attention span of a squirrel who just ate 5 sugar donuts. I mean, I'm like all over the place. So that said, last thing I want to show you this week is a super upgrade copy for me of Thin Lizzy Nightlife. Now, I have a copy of Thin Lizzy Nightlife, but the whole the cover is just completely decimated. It's actually completely peeled off the record, so it's you know, the record's okay, but the copy makes it a filler. So then I got my hands on this yesterday, and this thing is really, really on point. It is not, and it is a repress, but you know what? It's okay. Pardon me. I mean, it's got a little bit of ring wear, but certainly, you know, certainly worthy of adding to anyone's collection. And come on, man, it's Thin Lizzy's Nightlife. So hopefully now you can see why I was so excited to show this. This series of purchases from yesterday, and I still have all those albums that I want to show from that purchase from my buddy Mike. And you know, there's some couple of really interesting pieces. I showed you the Mitch Ryder, and there's a few other odds and ends that are kind of cool. Actually, we're listening to one of them now. I don't think you can see it. It's called Today's Scenes, and it's a compilation album from the 50s and 60s. It's made by Pickwick. Usually I'm not a big fan of Pickwick, but this is one of their earlier presses. It's a lot heavier stock, and it sounds substantially better than that early 70s Pickwick with the silver label with the big P on it, which is really made of very light vinyl, and it just really doesn't sound very good. It's just, you know, one of those $4.99 in your local discount store, Caldor, you know, I guess the Kmarts and the Walmarts of the day, where they were just like making these $4 or $5 records, and they were great. I mean, you know, if you just want to listen to some stuff, but as you get older and you kind of want to hear a better quality, a better sounding recording quality, they don't hold up. But this one actually is much better. It's called, what is this thing called again? It's called Today's Scenes, Pickwick compilation album, 50s and 60s mostly. Very similar to what I showed last week. So in any case, two things. Thank you for watching. If you like my channel, please subscribe, leave me a comment. I say it all the time. I actually love the interplay when we're discussing videos and music and records and all kinds of other stuff, and just whatever strikes your fancy, leave me a comment if you want. Secondly, don't forget to stop by and check out Harry's Music Room. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think just like every other channel on the VC, it offers something to the viewer, to the record collector, that we didn't know before. And that's kind of like cool and awesome, because then, you know, when you're out at a record show, or if you're out at a yard sale or a thrift store, crate diving, whatever it is, and you see something, it may trigger, hey, I remember seeing that in Harry's Music Room, and I remember him saying it was XYZ, and so it kind of, give him a try. I think you'll like the channel. That said, have a great week, everybody. Hopefully, again, the weather is awesome where you are. Week's supposed to be pretty strong here, so who knows? Either way, Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Cheers.